Welcome everyone to another YouTube video here on my channel. Today we're going to talk about Dimir Rogues post URO ban. So why we're going to talk about this deck mainly because URO is gone and we don't have to be worried about them getting URO in the graveyard anymore. So I think it definitely helped the Rogue archetype here. I still think though the deck is not tier 1. I think it's the tier 2 deck. It has some game, and maybe with some tuning and getting a better understanding of the meta, it can become better, but in my opinion it's a tier 2 deck, and yeah, let's go over it. Merfolk Windrobber is our first 1-drop here. It's a 1 mana 1/1 flying creature that mills opponent for 1 card. If we attack it, we can sacrifice it if they have 8 or more cards in the graveyard and draw a card. This 8 or more card thing is kind of the archetype, or like the mechanic of the rogues here. And yeah, it's a solid attacker. Another 1-drop is the Thief Guild Enforcer, 1 mana 1/1. Flash whenever Thieves Guild Enforcer or another rogue enter the battlefield under your control, each opponent mills 2 cards. As long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, Thieves Guild Enforcer gets +2/+1 and has Death Touch. So same here, 8 or more cards graveyard, 1 mana 3/2 flash Death Touch. In the end, and the upside of milling. I really like this card, it's perfectly fit for this deck. Then we play 1 Bloodchief's First, also a new card from Zendikar, 1 mana, destroy a creature or planeswalker with current amount of mana cost 2 or less. If it was kicked, instead destroy target creature or planeswalker. Really solid card, could see more, right now just play 1. Then in the 2 slot we have in total 8 cards that are counters, 2 mana here, counter target spell unless the control plays 1. If you control a flying creature though, they have to pay 4. So it's a really solid counter in this type of deck. Drowned Loch is a bit different. It's a 2 mana and we can choose 1. It's about the amount of cards opponent has in the graveyard. So let's say they have 5 cards in the graveyard. You can destroy a creature with 5 or less mana costs, or you can counter a card with 5 CMC or less. So that's also about it. So it's also a bit of graveyard interaction and we mill them a lot. So this is a really solid card. Then we play here Soaring Thought-Thief, 2 mana 1/3 flash flying, basically a mini lord, as we can say. It gives all rogues +1/+0, but also only if there are 8 or more cards in the graveyard. Whenever 1 or more rogue you control attack, each opponent mills 2 cards. So that's also pretty solid. As you can see, there's a lot of 8 or more cards in the graveyard, but I think that were all. So here we have Brazen Borrower, 3 mana 3/1 flash flying. Solid body for 3 flash 3/1 flyer is definitely good, and with the upside it's an instant adventure card with 2 mana. Petty Theft, we can bounce a permanent and non-land permanent opponent controls, which is solid for a rogue. Then Nighthawk Scavenger, 3 mana. So this is an interesting card. I can see this card being in the sideboard or in the main depending on the day you play it. I think Rogue is a deck you want to change a lot depending on the ladder snapshot. Let's say you see more creature-based deck, you want to play this main. Let's say you don't see it, maybe you go lower on the number. But it's still a good card. So it's 3 mana, 1+ and 3 toughness. It gets +1 attack for each different permanent type in opponent's graveyard. So this becomes like a 6/3 or 5/3, 4/3, depending on how many different permanents they have. And on top of that, it's flying, death touch, and lifelink. So there's a lot of stuff in this card. That's why I keep it main. I really like the card. Agadeem means Awakening, 3 black and X. It can be a land that costs 3 mana if you want to play it untapped. If you will play it tapped, it's just a swamp. We can pay X3 for example, and we can return 3 different creatures with different mana costs. This way, if we would pay 4, it would be 4. So we can get like a Thief Guild Enforcer, like a Soaring Thief, and a Nighthawk Scavenger. So we would go get those 3 cards. So this is a really strong land. One of those new flip lands, and I really like it in this type of deck. Then we also play 1 Hagra Mauling, also one of those flip lands, type of flip spells. I don't even know the perfect name for it. If you know it, please let me know. Hagra Mauling, 4 mana, removal spell. That's all. Simple, but it's nice to have. And here also a topic I want to shortly talk about, because Rankle and Zareth, they are both our high-end cards. We can see more Rankle, less Zareth. Also again, it depends on the snapshot, on the meta, on the day, how it develops, and it's also something you should change. So we have Rankle here, 4 mana, 3/3 flying haste. When Rankle does damage to an opponent, we can choose 1 or more, or none. Each player discards a card, each player loses a life, draw a card, each player sacrifices a creature. So it's a really solid card that instantly goes in and can go to up to 4 damage. Zareth San, the Trickster, really interesting card. I really like it. It's a flash card as well, 5 mana flash, but you can also pay 4 if a rogue you control attacked and was not blocked, you can swap the cards out, and when this card does damage, you can get a permanent card from opponent's graveyard and play it. And get it under your control. Not even play it, get it under your control. But this is nice, it's a permanent card, so you can get actually a Shark Typhoon. You can get another enchantment, an artifact. There are multiple cards you can get from Zareth San, not just creatures, so this is a really, really nice card. And yeah, here, this is the mana base. Nothing too special. It works perfectly for this deck. Sideboard, we have 2 more Bloodsheaths first. 1 mana removal spell if we play against more creature type decks. We play Cling to the Dust. I think this is a really good tech against the mirror match, because you want to slim your own graveyard so they don't get their benefit. And I really like it. Also, it's nice against Croxer based decks. Then Duress, 3 mana. 1 mana 3 times here. I think Duress is the better Remorse right now. Since Uro is gone, it works really nice. Even against Crocs, I mean, sure, there are Croxer decks, but against Uro it was sometimes a bit painful, because you want to have the card get into exile, and you can actually exile one of those cards. If you see more type of Croxer decks, maybe you can add a Remorse, but until then I will play Duress, because it mainly is nice to resolve spells. If you play against a counter deck, paying only 1 mana, getting rid of their counter, or it gets countered, and then resolving a spell is really nice usually. 2 negates if you really need to counter a specific card, like a sorcery, like the ultimatum order card. It's really nice, but you still have 8 counters in your main deck, so keep that in mind. Dispute is a really solid card against Omnath. It costs you 1 to deal with it early on. It works also against ultimatum, but besides that, usually can also run 3 in the sideboard. Also, something I want to mention to the rest, it's really nice against Clover on the draw, because you have a way to deal with Clover on the draw, which usually can be a bit tricky. Then we play also Into the Story. It's basically just a draw spell. It costs 7 to draw 4 cards, but if they have 7 or more cards in their graveyard, then it costs only 5. So this is the deck. Hopefully you like the deck. I know there are many versions out. Also in the Planeswalker Diaries, where I'm a part of with Seth Mainfield and Jason. Check that out if you don't check it out already. They also made a video about this, and I think this is a very solid deck. We tested it a lot. But as it is, it's solid. But yeah, if you have any idea to improve this, what is your way to play Rogues? How do you play Rogues? Please feel free to write me or write it in the comment down below. Also, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And yeah, check out the outro, and see you next time. Oh, we can play first. I mean, without blue, this is a really weak hand. This is better. It's not good, but it's actually better. Okay, we take a creature here. Green. 8-world Innkeeper again. So we have to make the decision again between killing this or Clover. If they have both, then that would be like the 3rd time in a row. Okay, it's Gruul. It's grueling. Could have played this to have this here, actually, but I want to play a creature to at least get something in. This is a harder one, so here you definitely have the sideboard. Take the damage. Boner. Difficult choice, but I think we have to. Okay, that was a land. They have 3 now, so this goes for 3. You cannot count what's coming in now. At least it's no Embercleave because of the math, right? Questing Beast is a possibility. Wait a second. Okay, yeah, we cannot use it. Yikes. So what is the best play here? play this more defensive here. I mean, Rankle is fine, but it doesn't help me too much here. If we draw a land, we can actually discard. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, it's heavy. We do everything. We have to trade the Rankle with the Ooze here. It's not what I wanted, but Ooze is pretty heavy. A Mammoth, okay. Bounce is decent. I mean, they can replay it this way, but if they have an Ambercleave, just want to make sure this goes away. We're looking for good cards. I mean, we definitely take that we can get a creature from their graveyard. It's not helping. It's not helping here. Ooze was really good. Looks like Ambercleave for me. Yeah. So this is where we maybe should have took 5 damage. And that's game. Interesting. Definitely this one. It's the one we definitely want to get. All the removal is fine. Probably cut on this counter here. Hot. I think it is possible, but Gruul tends to have the better creatures than Rogues. So if we don't have the tempo advantage, they just will win damage-wise with their Ambercleave and their big creatures. So having all the removals is super crucial, in my opinion. Okay. Let's see how it goes. Okay, we can actually keep the hand, which is nice. So let's hope they don't have an Eddie for once turn 1, it would be really nice. The Innkeeper is really strong. No Maul, always nice, but game 3 they're on the play. Oh, that's a double Maul. We have counter bounce and some playable things. Nope. We want to find the 4th land. It's ridiculous. I want this gone. I want this gone. They should replay it, but I do not want to see that one. What is that turn 3? Lovestruck Beast, huh? We have to let this go. It's the same problem. I mean, actually we have that one, huh? Okay. Mana efficient or Brazen? Okay, we go for the Brazen. I mean, Brazen is the mana efficient way. Should have maybe waited here, but I don't think they would have done it. We end, and then we play those two. If we don't have to counter. I mean, this has to be an Ambercleave. We're gonna trade with the Innkeeper here. If I had one more land, I would have done it differently, obviously. Because now they have to make a decision if they want to kill the Enforcer or not. If they kill the Enforcer... Okay, so we got rid of Ambercleave and Edward Innkeeper, which is good for us, I think. Questing Beast is pretty good. Questing Beast is definitely good. Decent blocker, good attacker. Also having Brazen Borrower here is nice again. If they have a second Ambercleave, it's a bit tricky. I think I should not block here. Because of having the Brazen Borrower. Another Edward Innkeeper, so that's no Ambercleave. Okay, that's a lot of power now. Not too happy with this. I think I will block here. This is actually not easy. Actually a hard choice. Lovestruck Beast is pretty good. Best case scenario, probably Brazen Borrower and Thief here. I mean, this is a big blocker, but I cannot interact with their Ambercleave. So we have to let it go. Another one? That's horrible. The Lothrak Beasts here are definitely the best card, because I cannot really do anything against it. Especially they make tokens, so my rankle gets way weaker as well. What a mulligan to 5. We're gonna take this. Okay, this is a good card. So we have 4 damage in the air, we have 1 death touch, and we keep our Brazen up. Oof, strong card. We have to bounce it. Yeah. I think we're gonna do it like this. Kinda need to figure out a way that we keep our tempo in. This is 5, 7, 9 damage. So, this card seems good. Let's say they block this next turn. They have 4 damage. They get 3 life. So it's not helping actually. I think we do it like this. We need to find a removal spell. We need to find a removal spell here. Dead and Ooze. Okay. It's hard. That Gargaroth is pretty good here. We 1 damage short. Which is a problem. It's not helping. Actually, I think it's okay to do this. Yeah, because if we find that card, we win, right? Okay. Nice, 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 nice. But they had a mulligan to 5 and they were this strong. Scary stuff. Scary stuff. Wow, it's actually really heavy. I want to have my counter again here. Poof. If we dodge the Adult Innkeeper once, just once, we may have a chance. Because now we saw it like 4 times in a row and that's no fun. Okay, we got a removal. Okay, we're gonna keep this. Okay, it's no Adult Innkeeper. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I mean, I can still play it though. It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So yeah, next time we gonna drop 2 of them. They can play the Lothrock Beast, which... Wow. Okay, so it looks like they didn't have another land here. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, we have to do it like this. It's not enough though to get 8 in the graveyard. That's damage. It should be enough, wait. It's a double proc, right? Yeah. Well, it is enough. Okay, seems like okay. Not happy about the lands we draw here. Is this good enough? Yeah, it is. I mean, they have blockers, but maybe they will not block the Death Touch creature. Okay, shit. Take the damage here. Okay. So we attack here, 100%. We're gonna get the Gargaroth here. Seems like a really good card to have. And here we can also play another Thieves Guild Enforcer to have another block if we want to. Yeah, I mean, that is what it is. Definitely gonna block with this one. 1 mana, 3/2 Death Touch is ridiculous on the power level. That's really, really strong. We do it here. Because they have 4 mana, right? They play 1 spell. And we should have enough power with this in combination. We just don't block and we win. I mean, we could block and make it 3/3 actually. It's kind of funny. And that's it. It's exactly 6 damage. Yeah, went well. The first game was really scary. Having access to a bit more removal definitely helped here. So yeah, this was a good game. Let's go to the next one, I would say. Enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Okay. Tsurikawa. 317. Would be a good win here. You're gonna keep this. Could have been better, but on the draw it's fine. We have a counter. We have a creature turn 1. And Brazen Borrower helps a bit as well. Let's see what we face. Merfolk Windrobber is better than I anticipated in the beginning. The sacrifice is really nice. Okay, Tsurikawa. Green. White. Edward Innkeeper. Oh, the classic. Okay. It looks like the 4-color version here. Okay, what we're gonna do is... we need to destroy Edward Innkeeper. It's just way too good. Way too good. It looks like Omnath Adventures to me now. The Giant Killer in as well. Oh, is this actually Celestia's Adventure? I would love to see that. That's one of my favorite decks. Or used to be one of my favorite decks. So I will definitely like to see that one. Brazen Borrower is usually weaker against adventures. Okay, no, it's the 4-color. Okay. Yeah. So we need Lofty Denial for their Omnath, which I shouldn't have played this here, but the Scry is nice. If I played this one, I could have played more pressure, because Brazen Borrower in general is weak. Free mana, nothing. That's interesting. Keep attacking. We need the counter here. If they play Omnath. Because right now they do nothing. And this is a 3/3. So next time I want to play this with counter up. Definitely looking forward to play against this. Okay, they don't have white. This is where we actually play the Brazen Borrower. If they have a Bone Crusher, sure, fine. Yep. Okay, we try to keep pressure this. Okay, they got 5. If they play Bone Crusher, we let this go through. I mean, we don't care at all. We have now 2 ways to deal with Omnath. Obviously, we want to use the Lofty Denial first, but I also play Escape to the Wilds. So most likely actually going to let them draw a card if they would play it, to have this for Escape to the Wilds. Since there's more value gained from Escape, that's completely fine. They are missing lands. Sure. I think we have to play this main here. Gives us 2 mil and put 8 cards in total in the graveyard. It looks like they're having a bounce or an escape here. Okay, we got rid of a Fey and a bounce, which is pretty good. I could Heartless Act this one, but I will not do that. The life gain here is really important because we have to get the damage from the giant, and even if they have 2 giants, it's still okay, as long as we get some life. So because of their amount of cards in graveyard, we do 6 damage next turn. This is way too strong. They could still have an escape, but I had to do this. If we hit a Clover in the graveyard, we would have lethal. I could see them play escape at this point. 3 mana. Cycle, okay, so they need something here and they don't have it. Which is a good sign. Yeah, I'll take 4. Okay, Nighthawk Scavenger, by the way, won me, made me second at the Seal pre-release event. Oof, okay. We have top decks. Okay, it's not the top deck we wanted. If we hit the Clover, we have it. And we got it. Sorcery worked as well. Okay, so we won game 1. Playing against Clover, tricky. Especially Omnath Clover is interesting. Okay, definitely not negate. Usually Rankle is... Well, Rankle plays around the... I don't like Rankle too much on the draw against them. I like the first so far. I mean, Mystical Dispute is fine. But they don't play the classic Omnath into Ultimatum, so... Not sure if we need Dispute. We have 8 counters, and we have a lot of removals. And we still have the tempo going on, so Duress is actually something we can play here. I never liked Borrow too much. I do like this. The problem with Borrow is, what do you want to bounce? The only card you can actually bounce is their Clover. The rest gets value back, so we can actually not play Brazen. I play 2 just for the aggressive part. Oh, hard one. We're gonna keep this though. It's the only way I get rid of Clover. Okay, we hit it. Nice. They have an Omnath. It's a bit of a problem. But our curve is there now. We will not block the 1/1 here, because they can just kill our Thief, and we do not want that. It's a misplay, huh? I could get rid of the 1/1 though. Yeah, I think I have to. I see their hand and they're only... I mean, I don't see everything, but... Yeah. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get there. Wow, actually had that one? Oof. That's huge. That's actually huge. That is huge, yeah. That is... I have to. I actually have to. I don't want to, but I have to. I cannot take the 5 damage here. I was hoping to dodge that Eddie there. They don't have blue, which is important. Oh no, they have white here. Never mind, that's blue. Probably just play the 3/3 here. The 4/3, I guess, to pressure me. They do not do that. We have to make the decision post-combat. If I hit an Omnath, yeah, okay, now I do it. Oh, wait a second. That's an oops, right? Can I still block? Did I miss? Oh, no. It only works if it's an unblocked rogue. Holy shit, I almost failed heavy here. So this oops was a BM then. Didn't want to do that. Okay, I land, so this is 4 life, which is nice. Removal here would be the best. I mean, they play their Omnath, sure. That's what it is. For real? Oh, I hate this card so much. Oh, come on. I really hate this card with all my heart. Yeah, with all my heart. Like, if everything inside me hates a card, it's Omnath. Like, it's purely ridiculous what's going on with this card. They have only 1 card left, though. It's actually just tilting. I mean, we have a 5/3 flyer and a counter. I mean, it's definitely not as strong as in... Well, I cannot do anything against this one. It's another Eddie, yeah? 2 Clovers, 2 Eddies, 2 Omnaths in the top 18 cards. I would call this a good one. I could trade Omnath here if I want to. But this is now a Temple situation. This is now a Temple situation. 4 damage. 4 life again. Omnath is so good. I mean, we get our 4 lives as well. Okay, this is Temple. So the Scavenger has to win this game. We need to dodge Bone Crushers and Bouncers really badly. Like, really badly. Two. Don't have a Bone Crusher, please. You just have already all the cards. You don't want to have a Bone Crusher here. Don't do it. It's very sad. And they got another creature in. So if I don't counter it... I mean, they get a draw anyways, but I cannot deal with this many creatures, I think. And I already know my next draw. Gain 4 life. Such a stupid card. That's an interesting thing with the Bone Crusher there. Maybe I would attack with everything like this. So this 9 damage puts me on 13, and then they have actually lethal. I think I block it. We do not dodge just another Bone Crusher, please. Just another Bone Crusher would be nice. I mean, right now, Omnath just keeps them alive. That's all it is. Okay, at least we milled that Bone Crusher. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 Bone Crushers gone. They could have still one more. Now, Omnath is so strong because even if you just draw a land, get your life and shit. It's no fun. Best card ever in this situation. But what could they get here? Mass Manipulation is even good. Like, they just get 2 cards away. So. Also, removal is fine. Like a fight spell. Yeah, that's game. Okay, I would say that's probably the best draw they ever could have. 2 Eddies, 2 Clovers, like literally everything on top. It's pretty strong. I think we keep it like this. I'm a bit sad about the Eddy there, where we saw 1 card in their hand, decided to play the other card, and then they drop an Eddy. That's a sad one, because I definitely would have liked to have the removal for Omnath. But what should we do? I mean, you cannot predict their top decks, especially since we already saw what they have on the hand. So that's always tricky. But now we're on the play, and hopefully we have the momentum. That's also a deck I want to test, the one opponent's playing. I'm not too happy with it, but we're gonna try it. Please no Eddy. Just please don't drop the Eddy. If they drop Eddy, that would be 4 out of 6, right? Even more, actually. Counter and land. We already have all the lands. There would be a situation where it's actually okay to keep that one for the curve, but there's no creature yet here. We attack first. Definitely better to play mana efficient here. I mean, it is pressure. There's still no creature in the graveyard though, and they play a lot. Okay, they have 3 mana, so they could have Omnath next turn. We have to go for the Thief here to push a lot of damage. And then it's nice that we apply pressure in this case scenario, so it's harder for them to just make decisions that are greedy, so they have to go for the survival mode. And survival mode Clover is harder to play. It's definitely harder to play than just greed mode, because greed mode is really hard if they go over the top at one point. So I think it's the best possibility to play this. And then we still have this if something goes through and we can push more damage, that's fine. Really good draw. It's better than this. I like the counter here a lot. Now I wish I had an untapped land, because that would have been best case scenario. If they drop Omnath, 100% gonna counter it. Okay, they have a second dispute, which is super bad. I should have played around the second dispute here and play the Thief, right? But I already played the land, so that helps. I have to drop it here. I have to push the damage. It's a lot of damage. Okay, so we have a potential that we can get the Omnath now. If you want to. They need bounces here. But yeah, it would have been better if I played this one turn earlier, 100%. Because if they, yeah, that was a misplay there, because I need to play the tempo line here and not having the counter line. Because I don't mind them drawing a card, right? I mean, even if they play escape, so I made a misplay there by not playing this one turn earlier, and if this costing me the game, then that's it. That's it. So I can deal with this. It's at least a misplay. Okay, they can return a card from their graveyard. Interesting. Escape. Well, they need a Brazen, it seems like. They found a Brazen. They found a Brazen. It's sad. It's actually sad. Okay, they on 2. I could get a flyer here, but I think I just play another creature that draws me a card. That's actually perfect. Because we get now 3 creatures, and they need 3 creatures to defend this, which is really, really hard. This doesn't defend, this costs too much to play. So in the end it looks like they have to escape for Clover and some... but even then it's not enough. Okay, I mean they can get life, sure, makes sense. So that's their big turn now. It is still lethal so far. Because Brazen cannot block the Guild Enforcer. Yeah, that mistake I would have lethal already, I think. Because this would play around Dispute. And they will never have 3 mana open. Okay. Maybe they have to go for Escape here. Or they have 2 creatures. Mill plan is also a strategy at this point, to be honest. Which is kind of funny. So this is a giant, which gives us a harder time, I think. Okay, that's probably the greedy one. Fear and Eddie is something. Clover, they can Clover and Giant as well. I hate this. But if they Clover and Giant, they are forced to block with Omnath. But then they have a Fey there. It looks like the way they also have to mill here. I think milling is actually the best way for me to win the game. It's really greedy, I think. If I draw a removal, I win. $19 cards left. Misplay. Yeah, there's also misplay from my side. Is it worth to go for 4 damage and get a Brazen? Because Brazen gets easily blocked by this. They really have like no creatures, I mean that's awkward. I definitely should have went the mill plan here. I think we just get Omnath again. Okay, they have 18 cards left. Mill plan is still on, especially with double thief. So if we draw a land, we have a lot of mill. This is what it is. We cannot change the fact that they get this. Made this game way harder than it should be, guys. Okay, even if they storm, that's GG. So storm doesn't help them, they have limited resources here. They need to deploy creatures again. So I wonder how they're gonna do it. If they have like a fork or something, sure. But I don't think there's a fork in the standard right now. So that helps. Can play Thief, and those two. Which is a lot of mill. If I get another land. Okay, that's super annoying. but they short untapped source here. They got priority back, which is a problem. Do they have the blue source though? They don't. I mean, that's blocks, which is fine for them. This is GG. That was a good game, my god. I made a misplay and it took this long, but this was a really good game, so I think Rogue is definitely something. I had a lot of fun for sure. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'm pushing more videos now out every day, and I really try to be consistent this time. There's just so much going on in my life. Streaming, project, Planeswalker, Diaries with Seth Mainfield and Jason, which I also will put a link in the description below. And yeah, see you next time, guys.